Hi there, welcome to Watch Your Realms. This time we're doing a review of Ardea, legendary hero in the background of this special ancient summoning. 15 times chance at this moment in time. Quite a hard hero to get a hold of, but for good reason, because they are good. We're going to be taking a close look at them. They're chaotic and also part of the Northerner faction. So you can use them in either one, depending what leaders, lords you have out there. So there's more variety and choice there, which is obviously a big positive. If you did pull, or if you already got King Hearts, then you can use Ardea for that faction and get a boost out of it. Make her better and stronger. Review-wise, how does she hold up? Gold Raid, I can agree with that because of her damage output. Her range as well. Experience 2, yeah. Gear Dungeon 2, that's very interesting, but I can understand Arena AoE DPS. I disagree with the Arena. I think that's extremely overrated. There are many more people that can do better AoE DPS damage than Ardea can. So that's heavily overrated there. As for the Tide, yeah, it could hold up somewhat well. Immortal Codex, yeah, specifically for the ground unit one where you got that oncoming wave of enemies attacking that barrier and you got to stop them quick with that range, and how the ultimate can cut through enemies and then be dragged back doing 2 lots of damage. Really good. Gear Raid 1? 5? No, that's overrated. I don't know why you'd be rating it 5 stars. Now, you want to be using like the mages, the Ingrids, and maybe the Hamets, not Ardea. Okay? Guide War, Titanic Ruins. I mean, unless there's something more to her. The dodgy ratings. Oh well. Anyway, visually, average. What does stand out though are these blades, which is very unique, how they both spin around in parallel to one another in sync. That's what makes it unique. Ardea is a fighter, normal damage, multi-target attack, no retreat. What does that mean, no retreat? Does that mean you can't delete them off the field? You can't get rid of them? The only way they will leave the field is if they die. Their block is 2, yep. Cost 17, but there are ways about that when it comes to the arena, which is a positive. As for Awakening, when the hero deals damage with her circular blades, it inflicts defense reduction on the target, which is really good. Defense minus 10%. You know, make the enemies weaker, kill them quicker. But there, during the frenzy state, killing enemy increases the duration of the state by 1 second up to 10 seconds. That's a good thing then. Bit like a Zilla 2, dragging it out. After the released circular blade returns, immediately regenerates 15 rage. Why not? Get round to it quicker. But let's just see more so, what's the talent? When performing a basic attack, there is a 25% chance that the hero will throw forwards 1 circular blade instead, while restoring 10 rage. The blade returns upon reaching the maximum distance of the basic attack. Enemies take 240% damage. When hit by her blades for the first time, the hero will not perform basic attack until the thrown blade is retrieved. So your attack interval is going to be hampered by that. So you really want to make up for it in terms of the attack speed in general. Multi-target attack, a good range. She's got a good range. So with Ardea, you could pair her with the mythic artifact, the red one, where it's like for every 1 tile ahead increases your attack or your damage. And I think that's obviously would work with Ardea. It works with Valkyra, so Ardea too, because it's ranged attacks. As for the passive, Unyielding Courage. As the hero's HP decreases, her talent triggers chance increases. Oh, so the talent of that circular blade, the 1 blade going forward, is doing 240% damage. So it's a 25% chance? Yeah, 25% chance. And it says here that the chance increases up to 30%. It's not really that much more, is it? Or does it mean 30% on top of the 25? Or does it mean it'll only go up by 5% up to the max of 30? I wonder. When she reaches 30% HP, additionally, Each time she retrieves the released circular blade, her attack speed is increased by 50 for 5 seconds. This effect can be stacked up to 2 times, so 100. Interesting. Well, whilst it can be stacked, I'm guessing it's not permanent, so you will lose it. Lethal combo. When the hero deals damage to the same enemy 2 times within 3 seconds with a circular blade, she immediately deals 40% extra damage to them 1 time and inflicts bleed. Ooh, you don't get many units that can inflict bleed, so I can understand why the Titanic Ruins boss and maybe even the Drake Chasm, the clan boss areas where Ardea could be useful. Inflicting bleed, dealing 40% extra damage when targeting one specific enemy. Very interesting. This is almost like a built-in mythic artifact, if you know what I'm talking about, the one which marksmen have access to. So whilst you can't use it as an artifact for a fighter unit, it's an inbuilt passive here and probably doing more damage than usual. On top of that, I'm not sure, I think it will work. You can use that bleed artifact where damage is increased when targeting enemies with bleed. So perfect combination there. And as for the arena cost, reduced by 5, right? 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. You'll be deploying Ardea quicker than Valeria, which is great. So you want to get in a unit as fast as possible that can deal some decent damage, take out waves such as the AOS DPS challenge, I'm guessing. You get an advantage using Ardea compared to Valkyra, who's a popular unit in-game for that arena mode. Ardea can be summoned much quicker, do more damage, and then you can cycle through who you want to use then on. Maybe Cyrene, regenerate some costs, and bring in another unit to complement Ardea. That's really good. So you don't need to worry about the arena with Ardea, it's covered by her abilities. Primal Wrath, of all names, just like my username Wrath or Warlike Wrath. The auto ultimate. This is good, it's automatic, you don't have to worry about pressing or timing it, it just happens. It lasts for 15 seconds based. 700 cost, you can reduce it down to 600, that's really good. Enters the frenzy state, attack is increased by 30%, nothing special, and 15% of the current HP is deducted per second. The hero throws 2 of her circular blades every time her talent effect is triggered. 2 of her circular blades, well, it said that 1 of her circular blades deals, 240%. So instead you'd be doing, 480. Sure, you'd be doing 480% here. 2 of her circular blades every time her talent effect is triggered. So depending on how many times you can use that, it's like 480% each time, and it will last 15 seconds depending on how many times you can get it in. Which I guess is decent, to be honest. Because yeah, when you look at it here, the stats, 30% increase in attack, wow, big deal. But when you look at the actual damage those circular blades do, 1, 240%, 2, it would be 480% on top of the 30% increased attack and lasting 15 seconds and including good range too. It's actually pretty good, this, and the skill cost very cheap. So, you know, if you don't look at the stats directly, you might look past Ardea, but in the end, she's actually pretty good. Pretty good. So, yeah, if you manage to get Ardea, that's really good. You've done well. But chance of getting King Hearts, unfortunately, probably could be higher because Ardea, although it's a 15 times chance at the moment, you know, certain heroes of the same rarity, legendaries, can be harder to get compared to others. It's kind of like with the epics as well. There's some epics which are really hard to come by, really rare. Are they really good? Not always, but still. Just because you got a section, a category of a rarity, certain units within that rarity are much harder to get than others, and Ardea is an example for the legendary. And take in mind, as for the summoning pool, she's only available in the ancient summons, so you got to take that in mind. At this moment in time, it's the best opportunity to possibly get a hold of her because of the 15 times chance. In the future, you would have chances as well, but she would be in the background with base rates of 0.0 or 0.8%. So just take that into consideration. All in all, this is definitely a better unit than the likes of King Kart's unique ability. Not as expensive, cost efficient, deployed in arena, yes, and the cost of the ultimate. And being able to inflict bleed. Multiple different options for artifacts to complement Ardea, whether that be the bleed artifact, which deals more damage, or it could be one of the artifacts where is it crit damage, just damage in general doubles when your health drops below a certain point. I had that on Valeria, works really well, could also work on Ardea too. The other part of the chaotic faction, so tends to do damage but also sacrifices HP, can be a bit messy. But he didn't mention anything about not being able to be healed or so even if a HP is deducted, I think you can still heal at the same time, which is probably better than the likes of Valeria, because Valeria ends up locking out. I don't know what the no retreat means. I guess you just can't get rid of her until she dies. But either way, yeah, Blade of the Inferno. So hopefully this video was somewhat interesting. It was interesting myself to look at Ardea and the design of it. Those two circular blades spinning about. Quite funny. Good visually. Yeah, interesting. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye for now.